Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to It's Evil. I'm Meosha Bean, your host. This radio series tells genuine crime stories involving real individuals. Simply things that we cannot explain. I usually say the creepiest crimes happens in small towns. Who knows, maybe it's because there's so many hidden secrets. In this season, we have 10 real terrifying episodes. Before we begin, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Gore Culture, your go-to source for newest horror movies, thrillers, sci-fi, and more, and my production company, MVP Films Productions, for making this episode possible. Welcome to It's Evil, Real Atlanta Cases. For possibly the first time ever in Georgia, Cobb County Police, trying to solve a cold case murder, obtained a search warrant to obtain location data from Google servers, and the results paid off. The data led them to an alleged murderer who will now spend the rest of his life behind bars. Cobb District Attorney Joliet Holmes announced Monday that an Atlanta man pleaded guilty in a case believed to be one of the first in Georgia solved with the help of technology. Dante Lamont Holmes, 22, pled guilty to malice murder, aggravated assault, and other charges in the November 23, 2018 death of Michael Jones Jr., 31, at Jones' residence on Lori Joe Drive in Allsdale.
I got blood on the doorstep right here. Uniform officers arrive on the scene. They go into the residence. The front door is unlocked. Cobb County Police. No sign of forced entry.
They immediately saw blood inside the entryway of the residence.
Cobb County Police.
And then going up the staircase, there was also blood on the wall.
Shortly before 10 p.m. that evening, Jones called 911 for help. When the first responders arrived at his home, the door was unlocked, but Jones was found trapped in a locked bedroom into which police had to force entry. Inside, police said that they found Jones in a very bloody scene, suffering from multiple blunt and sharp force injuries to his face, head, torso, and extremities. He was rushed into the hospital, but he died before he could identify his attacker for police. Crime scene technicians collected evidence at the scene, including a drop of blood found just outside the home's entry. The case went cold for a few months until March 2019, when Cobb police detectives, on a hunch, got the search warrant for the location data on Google servers. They were trying to find out if anyone with a smartphone that had the Google app on them was at the crime scene. The app, by default, continually sends time-stamped location data to Google's remote servers, where the data is stored. Detectives knew the data could act as a strong tip, identifying anyone who was there at the exact time of the murder, and they knew the time because of Jones' 911 call. We found 4 phone numbers at or near the crime scene at the time of the murder, said Deputy Chief Assistant District Attorney. 3 of them were quickly eliminated. For example, a couple of them were neighbors and we knew that they weren't involved. But there was one that stood out.
So Mitchell definitely wanted to do acting, and his mom really loved him and believed in his dream. So he was gonna go to California, but he heard Atlanta was where a lot of up and coming people, come to. So he was like, well, really, I really want to do acting and stuff, and I want to get out there and maybe politic and meet some people because I don't really know anybody from down here. So Mitchell definitely came to Atlanta because he could carry out his dream. He could do whatever he wanted to do and be who he wanted to be and still accomplish financial goals, mental, physical, emotional goals here in Atlanta. He would go and apply for parts. I think it's monthly, I would say he'd actually go to a gig and do something, for a shoot or for a video. So he'd be like, I know this show is airing, I can be a extra in it. So he just did acting a lot. He would try to do it as much as he could. He was very much so serious about it.
Once it was unmasked, that came back to Holmes. Up until then, he had not even been on the radar as a possible suspect. Once in custody, Holmes unfortunately admitted his involvement. Evans said, "The DNA profile from the blood draw collected at the entry," and Evans said the detectives later obtained independent cell tower data confirming the routes and times that Holmes took to and from Jones' home.
We never found the potential murder weapons. A neighbor stated that she heard 2 gunshots, and Mitchell Jones stated that he basically thought he was shot. Recovered any shell casings on scene. We never recovered a firearm.
There were no gunshot wounds. Now, during the interview, the suspect stated that there was a gun introduced to the struggle, and he gained control of the gun, squeezed the trigger several times, and it went off one time. Now, that leads into the psychology of Mitchell Jones. Knows he's had a traumatic experience, hears a gunshot, and relates, "Gunshot, I'm injured, I must have been shot." And that would account for him telling dispatch, "I've been shot."
But it's always kind of been a mystery. We never found a shell casing on scene. Could it be a revolver that doesn't eject a shell casing? Sure, that could be a possibility as well. But yeah, we never found the murder weapons in this case.
We at the DA office are proud of our partnership with our local law enforcement agency. Our victims and their families deserve their day in court. We are committed to collaborating with police as we seek new and an innovative way to bring justice to these families. Victim's father, Mitchell Jones Sr., told 11 Alive on Monday he is grateful to the police. He's grateful that police tapped into Google location data, the technology they use today to pinpoint the accuracy of the defendant. It pinpointed him down to the direct area, time, everything to the minute. With the technology that Cobb has, criminals better watch out. What used to take the law enforcement weeks and months to solve a case now is going to take them hours and days. The new technology is great for law enforcement. I wish them the best. Kudos to Cobb County. At Holmes' sentencing, Monday, Jones told the judge he hoped that one day he would forgive Holmes for taking his son's life.
Today, I was the only reporter inside a Cobb County courtroom, and I saw both families cry.
I don't think he should ever see the light of day again. I'm sorry, I can't finish my statement.
Mitchell Jones Sr. was too emotional to read a victim impact statement on Monday. Just feet away from him is the man who killed his son. A judge sentenced Dante Holmes to life in prison.
I wish the best for him, but I cannot forgive him. I preach forgiveness in church. It's easier said than done. I cannot forgive him.
Cobb County police say Holmes repeatedly stabbed Mitchell Jones Jr. and stole his phone in November 2018. Officers found Jones Jr. at a home on Laurie Joe Drive inside a locked bedroom. The 31-year-old died on the way to the hospital.
This young man took a lot from me and my family.
The lead prosecutor revealed the case went cold for months. In March 2019, investigators executed their first ever search warrant for geofence data from Google and pinpointed which cell phones were in the area when the murder took place.
You may be wondering, how does this work? Well, every cell phone reports data about its location and use. Investigators can get a warrant to see this data. By focusing on a specific area, also known as a geofence, police can pinpoint who was there at the same time a crime occurred.
A lot of people are swept in the digital world just because they happen to live or work nearby, or maybe they're just out for a walk and driving through the neighborhood near a crime scene. A lot of data about us is out there and is now out of our control, indefinitely stored on the servers of companies, Westler said. He recommends that smartphones users control what they can about their data, such as turning off location services when actually using an app. And Google is one company that offers users the options of using their smartphones to delete their location and search data from the Google servers as often as they wish. Not all companies provide those options for users. Well, nonetheless, stay safe, guys. And please, protect your identity. Until next time.